Help me, Dr. Zaius. This play has everything.
Oh, I love legitimate theater.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special edition of the Next Issue podcast. We have a very special guest tonight. Comic creator Josh Trujillo. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing well. How's everyone doing today?
We're doing very well. Now,
Fantastic.
we have our own Josh, but please know that whenever I say, hey, Josh, 80% of the time, I'm probably going to be talking to our guest.
Yeah.
So keep
Fair.
that in mind.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Usually when people want to talk to me, they say, hey, dickhead. So
Okay.
it's all good. Yeah.
But before we get started, I got a little, we're going to go ape shit tonight, I guess. But I got a little icebreaker. So let me move people around because it's kind of a game show. So we'll have a team Josh versus team not Josh. And we're going to get into a little bit of Planet of the Apes trivia because...
Oh, no. Okay.
one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is this comic you can see here, Planet of the Apes versus the Fantastic Four. I love the verses. It's not an X. It's just a verse. Like they're going.
Oh, I'm
at
so
it.
happy they did the long verses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we'll get into that in a minute. We're gonna start off. So I'm gonna go through about 10 questions and then a few more true or false things. These should be relatively easy, I guess. But I'm gonna start with Team Josh, and you guys feel free to chime in at any point. This is multiple choice, so I think it should be all right. In the original Planet of the Apes from 1968, who plays astronaut George Taylor? Is it Burt Lancaster, B. Charlton Heston, or C. Kirk Douglas?
I'm Team Josh, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so it's Charlton Heston.
All right. So we have Josh on both on this side, and then Team Not Josh is on the other side. I guess
Is it me and Tobias?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
It's
now,
the two Joshes on one team and Clay and I on
yeah. Clay,
right.
Yeah, that's why I put
Yeah.
you guys on.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Yeah. So your teammate is right below you. All right, Team Not Josh. Which ape species typically portrayed the military enforcers in the Ape Society? Is it A, chimpanzees, B, orangutans, or C, gorillas?
Clay, you are the actual ape expert on this.
Sea gorillas.
That's correct. All right.
I'm trying not to jump up and yell the answers.
Like Horseshack over here.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Back to Team Josh. Which famous landmark is partially buried in the sand at the end of the 1968 film? Is it A, Mount Rushmore, B, the Eiffel Tower, or C, the Statue of Liberty?
Other Josh, I know this one, but does the other Josh know this one?
I knowing the original novels in French, I think it's the Eiffel. No, I'm kidding. It's Statue of Liberty.
These will get more. This will get harder. Believe me. All right. Back to the other team. Who directed Rise of the Planet of the Apes from 2011? Was there Trevor Skosh, B, Rupert Wyatt, or C, James Cameron?
Who? A.
Do you agree?
B.
Out of the coin.
B. C. James Cameron. Okay. No. B.
Clay, you can chime in. He's on
B.
your team.
Yeah.
Okay,
B.
I just want I want everyone to be able to participate.
Yeah, but look at Jeff's blank stare when I said the question. He was like,
I was like, who did the sound design for that? I'm sorry. What?
I mean, what happens if I freeze? I lose internet.
Yeah, that's true.
It's when Clay shows up on Jeff's camera behind him, we really have to worry. So
Comes for me.
All right, back to Team Josh. What year was the Matt Reeves Dawn of the Planet of the Apes released? 2012, B, 2014, or C, 2016?
I think it's on the earlier side. Dawn's the first one of the new movies. Right? It's Dawn, Rise.
Yeah, it's Dawn, Rise, War.
It's not War.
Uh-oh, crap.
Dawn might be the third one. Now I think about it. What were the? It says 2012,
2012, 14, 16?
Yeah.
I think it's 12.
Let's go with 12.
But if we're wrong, it's totally my fault.
If we're wrong, it's because I wrote the classic Apes and not the Matt Reeves Apes.
The correct answer was B, 2014.
Damn it.
Ah.
My bad. Sorry, Josh.
All right, back to the other team. What is
No, I will say this is the first time I've realized there is an equivalency between, because Dawn Rise makes me think of the Twilight books. They're kind of the same kind of sun rising and setting kind of themes to those two stories.
Perfect.
A lot of people actually feel that they misnamed all the films from the modern trilogy because the names don't reflect the order in the thing. So
yeah.
All right, this is from one of Clay's favorite. What is the sacred for Team Clay and Jeff? What is the sacred place that prophesies the return of Zemos in Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes? Was it A, Exela, B, Palmyra, or C, Kalima?
Kalima. I just like that. I like that.
Kalima.
Well, B was a little Easter egg to our friend the Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
All right. Back to Team Josh. Which ape? There you go.
Nice.
Which ape is known for opposing Caesar and ultimately betraying him in Dawn of Planet of the Apes? Is it A, Rocket, B, Maurice, or C, Koba?
Koba.
Koba is correct. And then I think, let's go back to the team. In 1970 sequel, which 1970 sequel directly follows Planet of the Apes? Is it A, Escape from the Planet of the Apes, B, Underneath the Planet of the Apes, or C, Beneath the Planet of the Apes?
You tricky bastard.
Clay is looking at me like I am going to know this, so I'm going to say Beneath.
Yes.
That is correct.
Planet of the Apes.
All right, we have a visitor.
Oh, you're gonna see that catch up on my lap 10 times during this
we love
interview.
pets. Look out for Clay. Clay might have a
my dog's name is Dr. Zira.
Oh my gosh, that's so fun.
Oh, I never put that together, Clay. Damn it.
We're looking
We've only
for
been
Cornelius.
doing this for over 5 years, Josh. Well, there you have it. Congratulations to Team Not Josh on winning the Ape Cup. You guys will get DVDs of Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes in the mail. Congratulations.
I figured I would talk about my fandom for a second and show off the nerdiest thing I have.
Nice.
This is the Japanese Laserdisc box set of the entire Planet of the Apes series. And and I'm just missing one movie from it. So as a collector, how does that? I mean, it makes you kind of.
Oh,
insane.
you got me beat. I'm ordering a Japanese poster of Escape from the Planet of the Apes because that's my favorite. My favorite of the original Apes films. And so
I
it's
agree.
A really cool poster.
Yeah, with the family photo.
That's the American one, but the Japanese one is like a mashup kind of. I'll have to pull it up for maybe you can put it in the show notes or something. But
Is that the
really
one
cool.
that Lemon has on in the back in 30 Rock? Because she
Oh,
has
it
like
might be.
Planet of the Apes one that's
Really?
really cool.
My current. I just got this one. This is my Lawgiver statue.
I got that.
I'm really
It's
happy
right
with
there.
this one.
I got that too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is the.
Yeah.
I don't have one.
I love
We
them.
just-
The Super
You guys
Sevens.
are to be quick friends here. This is
Apes
Here.
together, guys.
No one's a little bit into Planet of the Apes. I've learned very quickly.
no one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're either all in. Now, is it this one, Josh?
It's that one. That's the one I want to order.
That is cool.
Whoa.
Yeah, all the pictures online are like the worst quality, so that you don't just print it at home.
I know. It's one of those things too. It's like the poster represents all the things that happen in the movie, but it makes the movie feel like it's an action movie. You know what I mean? It's like it's not an action movie.
Yeah.
Well,
Still my favorite though.
Well, let's get talking about Planet of the Apes. So, as I mentioned, this past week, and one of the reasons I reached out to Josh was because this book was coming out, and Josh has been in the show before when we talked all about Blue Beetle at the. I think that was probably the height of the hype of Blue Beetle. The movie was coming out or had just come out, or I think it was on its way. It's been a little while, but that was a lot of fun. So I was like, let's revisit, but this time let's go ape, because as you can see, all these guys, including Jeff, he just doesn't know as much of the trivia. We love Planet of the Apes. So how did we get to this point, Josh? How did this book happen?
Okay, so tangled up with the cat, but how did it happen? So a couple of years ago, Marvel had an event called Blood Hunt, where it was a vampire monster themed event, and they blocked out the sun. I got to do a short about Hell Cow, who I don't know if you know in the Marvel canon is a vampire cow, a real character, and I got to do the Hell Cow story. And I'm not gonna lie, like I like my writing, but I was like, I think I kind of nailed it with this Hell Cow story. So look it up in Blood Hunters #3. But my editor really liked it, and so did CB, who I've never met, CB Sapolsky. But they're like, oh, we like Josh. Like, this is good. Like, let's get him on some weird stuff. So they put me on what if Gambit became a Herald of Galactus, which I did last year around the spring. And I loved doing that one. That was another weird comic, too, because they're like, we actually have no idea what this means. But here's the pitch. And I was like, okay, great. So I did that, and they were happy enough with it. And then about 8 months ago, they reached out to me, and they're like, hey, we're talking about Planet of the Apes. Do you have any interest in this franchise? And I was like, well, as it turns out, I'm obsessed. So that worked out really nicely. And I sent in my pitch. I'm sure some other writers sent in their pitches, but somehow mine made it to the top. And here we are. But it's honestly a dream to write. I used to be an intern at Archaea when it got a little bit before it got purchased by Boom. And then Boom was doing Planet of the Apes comics. And I was just like, oh, man, I'd do anything to be in that room because it was like Gabriel Hardman and stuff doing apes art. It's like some of the most beautiful apes art I've ever seen in my life. And I was like, oh, I'd do anything to write a Planet of the Apes book. And if you wait long enough in comics, all these licenses switch publishers over and over and over again. So I got my chance.
Ah, cool.
Yeah. Eventually Disney bought everything, so like now you can. And we'll get into the possibilities of crossovers in a minute, but I want to throw it around to these guys as well. I
actually have a question. Well,
yeah,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was going to ask, when a pitch like that comes out, or they ask you to do a pitch like that, is it set where like we want you to use these specific apes? Are there guidelines, or is it just go nuts?
Oh gosh, if I remember, the marching orders for this one were it needed to be the classic apes and not the Matt Reeves apes. So this is specifically those characters, and then they didn't really have. They hoped the Red Ghost would be a part of it, the classic Fantastic Four villain who has his super apes. Because they were like, it only makes sense that the Red Ghost is in it, right? And I'm like, there's no way I would do this without the Red Ghost. Like, that'd be insane. So that was basically their parameters. And normally they can be a little more strict about these things. But I had to come up with some parameters for my own in order for it to make sense. Because, spoiler alert to a movie that's been around for 50 years, at the end of the second movie, they blow up the planet. So
Wait, what?
If you want to see Cornelius, Zira, Dr. Zaius, you really only have so much time to do that before it's too late. And so my story, people who know the movies well probably figured out that my story takes place between the first movie and the second movie. So it's between Planet of the Apes and Escape, or Beneath the Planet of the Apes. So we're kind of dancing in continuity there. And normally I don't like to get in the weeds like this and be like, but for this it was a necessity because I wanted to have all my favorite characters before the planet blew up.
That's very smart.
Was it always Fantastic Four?
It was always Fantastic Four. They always came to me with that, and I wanted to go really retro with it. Like I wanted to do some of this pure like space age stuff, but they're like, just be neutral with the Fantastic Four and like they're spacey enough, So that was my thing. I was like, I want them to be like fighting the Soviets and like blasting off in space, and they're like, no, just make a modern Fantastic Four. So,
all right. Well, like I said, open you guys' questions for Josh. We'll go around and just kind of do that. Clay, I feel like Yeah, I want to throw it over to Clay. I feel like Clay's waiting on.
Yeah.
He's being very polite.
I am, because I could just take over and talk. I could talk apes like for 2 hours. But being a fan of apes and of the FF, when are the apes at their best and the FF at their best in terms of creativity, like storylines, characters, and stuff that you enjoy from both franchises?
Ooh, so I like, for the Fantastic Four, I'm going to admit that I find the Fantastic Four more challenging to write than the Planet of the Apes characters. And I like the Fantastic Four. I've been reading them most of my life. But I find that the Fantastic Four are they're very pure. They don't have a lot of infighting anymore. Usually they're united on whatever the foe they face is, and they have the resources and the smarts to get through a lot of situations. So trying to come up with something that challenges them is really difficult for writers, I think. And so you kind of go into, I also like when they do kooky sci-fi concepts. So I do like the retro, like you could imagine Mike Allred drawing this miniseries, right? And so I'm really happy. We have Andrew DeVito, who did a fantastic, no pun intended, but a fantastic job.
It is amazing art. It's really good.
Yeah,
I'm a big Allred fan, but this is a perfect fit. So
yeah, so I wanted to capture kind of the kookiness and the weird sci-fi of it. I know like Ryan North is really good doing the Fantastic Four series right now, and that really plays into real science. Unfortunately, I am not that smart. So we do science fiction concepts, which is fine for us. But this kind of works in contrast with the apes because they're allowed to be selfish and prejudiced and greedy and betray each other, but also be like very fanatical in their belief of apes being superior to humans and stuff. And so you get these characters that are inherently like super flawed and messy. And then you get the Fantastic Four that are like perfect action figure characters. And then you smush them together. And that's where the conflict, I think, really comes from, is like having this like our perfect Marvel's first family up against this really weird social, psychological threat of the apes.
Yeah. Like I liked your choice to have Reed bend the knee to like evaluate the situation so fast that he knew what he needed to do in the story. There were just like little moments there where I'm like going, Reed is going to be the hero of this, but you've got everybody else stepping forward and kind of taking charge of the team that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, thank you. There are a lot of, I try to give everyone their moments, big and small throughout the miniseries. And with Reed, he can assess the situation very quickly. So he's already 2 steps ahead of everyone else and figuring out what's going on, which is fun to write. So I loved doing that. I'm trying to think of what else I was going for here, but this is a spoiler zone.
Yes, we were going to spoil everything from at least issue 1. Obviously,
okay, great.
Full spoilers because we've all read it and it's been out for almost a week now. So hopefully people had enough time to go read it.
Yeah. So, and as you know, I take away the Fantastic Four's powers in this issue and give them to our favorite apes. And so that kind of upsets the balance of power even further. I thought that would be interesting for the Fantastic Four to be powerless. And also I love seeing Ben when he's human for a little bit. It's always fun for me.
Yeah. But what about the apes at their best as a fan? What are the things you like from that franchise that you're a big fan of?
Oh gosh, for the apes, I really like kind of a contra. I like how human they are. You know what I mean? I like how selfish and petty and small they can be, but also they're capable of love and emotion. Cornelius and Zira are a very happy, perfect couple, and as I said, Escape is my favorite, and they're the whole movie. So I like that they don't do anything small. You know what I mean? Everything they do is big and operatic and epic, and they don't have small emotions or small moments really so much as they do have these big sweeping things. It just feels like sometimes it's like you're writing like a Swords and Sandals kind of epic, like a Ben-Hur or something, but then the Fantastic Four are there, so you can lean back onto the sci-fi of it. But I would write the Fantastic Four forever, but I would write the apes for free. Like they just have to tell me to do it.
Don't let them hear you say that.
Yeah.
Don't let them hear you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could write a solo book of any character from either franchise, is there one that really interests you?
I shouldn't. You should never talk about pitches. But I will tell you that Dr. Zayas and Zira are front of mind, and I know exactly how to do it.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Because I think Zayas is like one of the more complicated and interesting villains that have ever been on screen.
Oh yeah.
And Marvel's been doing really fun things with the Apes property just on their own, where they're like, let's go back to the old stuff, and then now let's go back to let's play with the new world. Like, they really kind of are all over the place. They're not being shy, or they're not really picking just one thing, right? We've had a couple of Ape series in the past few years, and each one of them focuses on a different timeline, or a time with the different movies. So that's kind of fun. Josh, do you have any questions for our guest, Josh?
Again, just say, "Hey, dickhead." So I really loved how seamlessly, like, Fantastic Four and the classic Apes world, how you kind of like blended them together. I am curious, were there any Easter eggs, since this takes place between like the first film and the second? Were there any Easter eggs you wanted to put in but couldn't for time or space or something?
How do I say this? We're prevented from, because of our timeline, we can't do anything from beneath. So this is an apes. This is an apes only party. So I would love to talk about the mutants, but they are not represented here. I know, but we got to keep the door open for the sequel, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want to broach that if it was untoward.
No. So it wasn't it was hands off because of the timeline we're in. But I think I've already figured out my workaround if we ever get Fantastic Four: Planet of the Apes 2.
Nice.
Because they're so creepy and weird. They're like, it's such a start. I remember being a kid watching them on Saturday afternoons and just being like, this is like the darkest thing I've ever seen.
Yes, somehow the second, like, so I'm fairly new to being a super fan of the franchise. I didn't watch them until like maybe 6 years ago, and became like an overnight obsessive. But I was really shocked how dark the endings of the second and third films are. Like, just, like the second one kind of builds you up to it, even though it's kind of out of left field. And the third one, you're like, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
Like, it's a tonal shift, So, but yeah, I
G for family.
Yeah. But like, I didn't know if there were like maybe things you wanted, like the spaceship in the background, like in the lake, or, things like that.
I would say, I'd say to that, keep reading. There's a lot of stuff. We have some fun playing between the two movies.
Nice.
And I've read all of the Apes crossovers that have happened, but I'm probably missing one or two. But I think we do it in some direction that haven't been done yet. And so I'm excited to play with that. But
love it. I'm so hyped.
Taylor is not in this miniseries because he's in the Forbidden Zone, which is not to say we won't go to the Forbidden Zone, but he's not in this miniseries. But his presence is definitely felt.
Cool. Oh, I'm so excited.
Nice.
Now, I'm glad you brought up the other crossovers, because I think one of my favorite ones was the Green Lantern Planet of the Apes. But that's just me, like, really enjoying seeing different like entities just put on a lantern ring. So that was.
It's always fun now with the multicolored rings. It's like, which character would be the anger one? Which would it's always a perfect crossover. You just give them a bunch of rings. It's like,
yeah.
Well, and I thought of that when we got to the end of the issue, and which member of Ape Society got what power. I was really honing in on that, and I really liked the play of that. So,
yeah.
Oh, I was so happy getting the designs for Dr. Zayas as the Rocky thing, basically.
Yes.
And I was like, because when I wrote it, I was like, is this going to translate visually? You know what I mean? Like, does every Rocky thing just look like the thing? And it's like, no, you can actually, the way Andrea did it like really came together beautifully.
That's awesome.
Now, do you know? And Jeff, I'll let you pitch in a minute. Do you know how familiar is Andrea DeVito with who is the artist on this with the Apes franchise? Like, did you guys?
I don't know exactly. We didn't have a lot of chats beforehand. It's mostly been through email. I love working with him. I've never had an artist be so complimentary to a script before. So I think he's really in it. I think he comes from more the Fantastic Four side of it, though. If I just kind of gleaning off of things we've said to each other, I think this is kind of his entryway into the Planet of the Apes world. But if you look at the artwork, you would never know.
Yeah.
Because it's really incredible the kind of notes we get from this 20th Century Fox Studios, who Marvel looks at everything and then they pass it off to the studio to make sure it works within what they expect from the Apes franchise. So it was the big things like, oh, Cornelius's tunic should be this color of green and not this color of green. But it also, like, when you go to Ape City, the window holes are this shape and not this shape. It's just little bits in the background that really make you feel like you're there. And so when we open up the double page spread in the first issue and we're in the big amphitheater, I just felt like I was in Ape City. It was incredible.
Sounds like a gig for Clay.
Yeah, I was going, is there like this dream job at 20th Century Films that maintains the Apes timeline,
Continuity.
aesthetic, and continuity? I mean, that's got to be.
Oh.
Wait, I've never seen. Is that the print edition credits?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've only seen the PDF they sent me. I'm picking up my copies on Saturday, so I haven't seen that yet.
It's beautiful.
That's so cool.
It's so great.
title
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So
It's a
I
great
picked
page
up-
flip too. Like when you hit that page flip, yeah.
yeah, I picked up this one, and
I love that cover.
And I wonder, like, it makes me think, like, is this just like because they want to draw Marvel characters with the apes, or is this a tease? Like, I don't know, that Thor will be showing up just based on this story that we got from issue number 1. But it just makes you wonder, like, it looks good. Like, these characters just happen; they just work with each other. Like both of these,
Yeah,
so.
like the Green Lanterns, I think when this got announced, I was kind of expecting people to be like, "Oh, it's just a cheap crossover, blah 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 blah." But then it got announced, and everyone's like, "Oh, that makes sense." You know what I mean? Everyone collectively, anyone who's an Apes fan, anyone who's a Fantastic Four fan, is like, "Oh yeah, this is exactly what would happen. This makes way more sense than teaming up with the Apes with Spider-Man right away or whatever it would be."
The world just nodded in approval all at the same
No,
time.
they really did. You
Yeah.
never know how people are going to react to these announcements, but for this one, everyone's like, "Hell yeah, I'm in."
Well, these
it-
guys can attest. As soon as I learned about this crossover, it was like a double fist pump. I was like, this is everything I've dreamed of. So
It might be recorded on a live stream somewhere.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have the theory because in the movie they use an abbreviation in the Fantastic Four film that is in the Planet of the Apes universe. So, and the ship is very 60s style.
Yes, the Liberty Ship.
And okay, so I actually did write this question down. I wanted your thoughts about this. Danny is laughing his ass off.
I love
'Cause
it.
I have
I
a
love
conspiracy theory. All right. And it goes back to did you read the tie-in comic for First Steps?
I've not read the.
Okay.
Is it Phil Noto who drew that one? Or did you
Yes.
get the covers?
Yeah.
I've
he
not
did the
read the
cover.
First Steps one yet.
Okay. So Ansa is all over that book. And of course, as Quay said, it's in the movie, right? So I'm watching the movie with my daughter who's 19 and she's like, good God, Dad, stop geeking out. But just in the film alone, between Ansa, between the ship, if you just look at the front of the ship in First Steps, it looks very similar to the one that's in the original film. And then for me, the critical moment is as soon as Galactus lands on Earth, what's the first thing he looks at? The Statue of Liberty. And I'm like, come on, this has got to be a tie-in, right? So I'm just curious, did you think that was the case at all, or am I just off my rocker?
Oh gosh, I mean, I haven't read the First Steps one, but I think basically if you're doing anything kind of a classic 70s, 60s, 70s sci-fi, you kind of have to go through the Planet of the Apes to get there. Like there wouldn't be a. I've been saying this, but there wouldn't be a Star Wars if 20th Century Fox didn't make money making Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Like there's just no way around it.
Yeah.
Like 20th Century Fox like took a risk on the apes thing because it's like a social parable and it's kind of an adult drama, but also sci-fi, which it makes it so effective. And they made a lot of money off of it. And so that's why we got them to greenlight the biggest franchise of them all.
Yeah. And they knew how to budget back then because
Mm-hmm.
they made money off the film. And so they would greenlight a sequel and they'd say, okay, you have to make that with half the budget you made the last one with. They always got a budget cut on every film they made afterwards. And so the studio just made more money.
You don't really notice it so much until like the fifth one when it gets really noticeable.
Yeah.
But like Conquest is so good.
They keep reusing costumes, so like they finally look worn down.
Yeah, there's like
the singular
yeah,
mask.
exactly. There's like background shots of some apes, and it's like very clear there's no mouth.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like the mask moving up and down. Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Since I do love a little inside baseball, that theory that Josh threw out, we have a note that says, "Save this for last if we have time." And I love that.
Not waiting.
But Jeff, I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, take your chance. Josh, you had said that your love for the apes came from Saturday morning, watching them on Saturday afternoons on television. Is that like just sci-fi Saturday afternoon, like UHF television, or are you somebody handing you the DVDs?
Oh gosh, no. I wish I had someone. I wish I had had someone to guide me through Planet of the Apes and hold my hand as the planet blew up and as Zero and Cornelius meet their untimely end later.
And Baby Milo.
And baby, oh my God, baby. Well, Baby Milo.
Baby Milo.
Boy.
Baby Milo. I feel bad for Baby Milo. Anyway, so where's I going with this? Planet of the Apes. Can you repeat the question? I'm so sorry.
So, well, were you watching these on Saturdays, just like UHF?
Yeah, AMC for a while. We had cable, and so AMC they had the movies for probably like 10 years, but every Saturday I think they just ran all of them back to back to back to back. And so I would do that on Saturday afternoons to just soak in all these Apes movies.
Well, because I grew up watching like they would show Godzilla movies on Saturday. And I fell in love with Godzilla because they would show this. And I was wondering if you have any, because Saturdays is like notorious for showing old like B-50s sci-fi kind of movies. Are there any other properties out there that you just fell in love with that kind of fit that Saturday afternoon, B movie flair? That
let's see, what can Godzilla is definitely a big one. I did a Mothra versus Hedorah comic last year with Josh Cornillon for IDW, and so that was fun to kind of dig into the kaiju and like play with that. Let's see, what the other one? Oh, like the Blob or any of those movies that like MST3K would do. Basically, I've probably watched 100 sci-fi B movies because of MST3K over the years, and so like the Blob sticks to mind because I'm working on something now that is related to a blob, not the blob, but has a blob in it. And so anyway, I'll come back and be happy to talk about blobs later, I guess.
We love blobs.
It was one of those, it's like a monster thing. And they're like, you can do any monster you want. And I'm like, I want to do blobs. And they're like, why did you do that?
We said monster and you went with blob?
I went with blob. Everyone's going to pick a vampire, right? Vampires are easy.
Watching the blob come out of like the air grates when I was a kid was some of like the craziest things I've ever. I loved it as a kid. Yeah.
Oh, there's that scene in the '80s one where she's in the phone booth and the blob is like slowly filling up the phone. Oh, so good.
And the parts, you could see the parts floating inside the blob.
Yeah,
through the glass.
Wow. Now I would be remiss if we didn't touch on this because Dr. Doom is having a hell of a year. He's been having a hell of a year for a while now. Was Dr. Doom always part of this whole mix?
He was not handed to me in the same way that the Red Ghost was. But I will say that when they give you the chance to write Fantastic Four, it's really hard to not want to include Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
And I found a path for him in this. There's some good Doom bits, I will say. He was the character I was really worried about writing because he's smart. He's as smart as Reed, but also like philosophical and poetic in some ways and like a gentleman. And so like he was an interesting challenge to write, but I'm really happy with where Doom landed. And him and the Red Ghost have a funny I wouldn't say banter, but they're two interesting characters because Doom is like the AAA of all evil villains, right? And then you've got the Red Ghost, who is like, why are you still around? Why are you still kicking around?
So I'm assuming you're a big Red Ghost fan. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bummed were you that he got cut from the movie?
I was kind of bummed because it was John Malkovich, right? Like I
Yeah.
thought he would have been really good in it. I'm sure they cut it for the runtime, or who knows how they cut up these big movies anymore. But I was bummed about that. I think it's funny. The only shot from those sequences in the movie, I'm sure you know this, is when Reed kicks the orangutan in the face, which makes no sense in context whatsoever, and it's so funny. You're like, why is he okay?
Just kicking an ape,
I guess. So
Yeah. Like the 5 of us probably popped at the theater, but everyone else was like, why is he hitting?
He's really mean to apes.
Right? Like I get it.
Weird animal abuse scene in the middle of the movie.
It's a different universe, you know. Things happen differently. Clay, I'm gonna throw it back to you. I'm sure you got more stuff to dig into.
Yeah, I just is if you could introduce a weird piece of American pop culture into Planet of the Apes, what would it be? Because I always think of like the baby doll in the first movie that just says "Mama." We have that kind of like iconic moment where there's like humanity. This is what humanity was and what's left over. But is there anything that you would want to enter that you think, oh, this would maybe break what the apes believe even more, or make it weird?
Okay, so to answer what I took from the question originally, Rod Serling from the Twilight Zone wrote the first draft. I think one of the first drafts of the Planet of the Apes script when it was an adaptation of the novel. And I always thought you could do Twilight Zone episodes in the Planet of the Apes.
Ooh.
Like I think you could do like social sci-fi, like big themes and dark themes on the Planet of the Apes, and it would be maybe even more effective than if you were doing it with humans, right?
Oh wow, that would be awesome.
What would turn the ape civilization upside down? I think if they had, I think there is a curiosity with some apes towards humans, and maybe not empathy. I think Zira and Cornelius kind of develop empathy for Taylor as they go on. But obviously she lobotomized like 100 humans beforehand. So what does that mean? But like I think if you gave
one man changed her.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
It's all it takes is one handsome space astronaut and you're set.
In a loincloth.
In a loincloth, that's right. I think if you gave the ape cell phones, it would probably ruin everything like it has here.
I want them to get like a Walkman.
Yeah, I felt like if they discovered like our music, like what would be the song that they would just listen to, and either like it could
it's Britney, bitch,
dance,
you know?
or
I feel like the bad version of that is just The Lion Sleeps Tonight, right? And they're like, but Josh, I did want to ask, because as I was reading the issue, and the FF is before the tribunal, the court, and they're talking about where they came from, and they mention they're from a universe where they came from a city where it was all people like them. And there's just this comment about remarkable, a world of humans full of skills and special abilities unlike anything we could ever imagine. My first thought was, this sounds like, just in text form, the original plot of the book and Serling's script, right? Where it was going to be not just, a man out of time and space, but like in a world in which it's completely inverted. Was that intentional with that line, or?
Yeah, it was a little bit. I guess it was a little bit of a nod to that. I would be curious. They've done adaptations of the Boulet. I think they did one a couple years ago of the Boulet novel. I haven't read it, unfortunately, but I am interested with that angle on the Planet of the Apes. I know they made it kind of more primitive because of budget reasons, but ultimately I think that kind of paid off. Oh, that's a gorgeous. Yeah, I've seen that cover. It's a gorgeous book. I need to.
Sorry, go on. I just had to grab it as you were talking about it.
No, so it's a nice little nod. I would be curious. I kind of be curious if they ever do. I guess they're going to keep making Planet of the Apes movies, but I'd love to see a version that kind of represented that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily having Abraham Lincoln be an ape at the end of Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes, but some sort of advanced ape society. What does that look like if we take the apes 2,000 years ahead or something?
What do they do right that we don't?
Yeah. I think one of my favorite things about the issue is that Johnny decides that he is to be the mouthpiece for the group.
That was so great.
And
Very good.
he starts talking like, I'm gonna get us out of this. I can talk, I can smooth talk my way out of anything. And he starts telling the story about how they're beating up apes. And I'm like, I feel like you're going down the wrong path, my boy. Like,
This is not
I
the
don't
best
know why
foot
they
forward.
went to couch. Yeah, so that was great. I really love that. And I also the way that Andrea did all the flashbacks where it's like this little nice wash of like kind of like orange or like a different tint. I just the story's paced in such a fun way that it truly feels like you mentioned kind of like a more episodic thing. So I'm very excited to see where we're gonna go from here. But that's why I wanted to talk to you about this first issue. And I'm kind of glad that it happened that we scheduled this after the first issue was out so we can really dig into it, because I want people to know like this first issue is a lot of fun, and I can only imagine that it's gonna get, after the setup that you've left here at the end of the issue, like it's just gonna get better. Like there's so many pieces that need to be resolved. So
It just gets weirder and weirder. That's my promise. It's
Good.
weirder. Apes talk about the nature of man. You know what I mean? Like it's got all the sweet stuff that I think that I love about Planet of the Apes and Fantastic Four. It's interesting to mash up like big sci-fi concepts and big explosions and big powers with the apes, who are more like thoughtful and philosophical when they're not, hunting humans for sport.
yeah.
Is there an ape character that you wrote that you kind of sit in their head and go, oh yeah, they would say this or not say this, and kind of got the vibe of that character really well?
I've gotten some positive notes from the studio for Zaius in particular. So that's the character that's probably I really gravitated towards the villain, but he's so much more complicated than that. He's very much like Dr. Doom, actually, I will say. They're both kind of fanatics in their own way.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting parallel to kind of have going on there. Obviously, Doom has magic and science and everything you could possibly imagine. And Zaius just kind of has his wits and the power of authority, but they're both using it to kind of similar ends.
And I think in their head, they both think they're doing everything for the right reasons.
I think so too.
Which I think makes it a lot, like this what makes it more fun to kind of go through, and you're like, I don't know, man. I don't know if you should be going that way. Like, even whenever I read any Doom story, like, you can just feel everything that he does. He thinks that I'm Doom, I'm right, I'm doing, like, even the whole One World Under Doom that just finished.
Yeah.
Doing everything to better the world in his mind. Now, the way he went about it, maybe it was not the best way once you kind of dig into it, but that's also the same thing that once we dig into the society of the apes and how they treat the humans, like you start to see like, oh, maybe this isn't as cool as it looks like from the outside, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's interesting to kind of explore that with some of these other characters that are more the gray area than the Fantastic Four, for sure. And also it's interesting, like one of my favorite Zaius moments is in Beneath, where the mutants are in the brains of all the apes who are trying to enter the Forbidden Zone. And they create this illusion of the lawgiver basically bleeding from his eyes. And the apes have never seen anything so horrible in their entire lives. What do they do? But Zaius is such a fanatic. He's like, the lawgiver wouldn't do this to us. I'm going to keep going. And so his like fanaticism is somehow like a superpower, right? Like it's just and that's what's interesting to me about it, is like every other ape was ready to turn around or shoot each other or whatever. And Zaius is like, no, you don't understand the lawgiver like I do.
Which is kind of what I always liked about the end of the original film, is it comes down to this idea, like, do we kill Taylor or not? And kind of the idea at the end is let him go, because it ultimately doesn't matter, right? If we kill him or we let him go, he is the reason that our world may be revealed as not what we thought it was, you know? And so it's like it's less a moral dilemma and more like the toothpaste is out of the tube, you know, like we can't put it back in anymore. So
yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think it's also aggravated. What the Fantastic Four deal with is aggravated by the fact that Taylor was recently in town, and that makes people a little more anxious. The idea that there are more of them now,
and I love how subtle.
Again.
Yeah, right. Well, which you kind of get when as soon as they talk, you get that the one ape going, "Oh no, they're talking," you know, and like the implication is, "Ah, crap, here we go again." So, I really love just how like subtle that is, but it works. It works so well. Oh man, yeah.
Is there any chance you're going to get to play with the Matt Reeves apes?
I would love to play the Matt Reeves apes. That's like Shakespeare. You know what I mean? Like that's like those movies are so. I love those movies. They're similar to the originals, but they're different and darker in some ways too, which is interesting. A little grittier, a little. I don't know. I would love to play with the Matt Reeves apes. I will say we're exclusively our classic apes in this miniseries, but I do love those movies. I genuinely love. I was like gasping after the second one's Rise. First one's Rise.
First one's Rise. Yeah.
First one's Rise. Dawn.
Yeah.
Dawn
and then War.
Matt Reeves one. Yeah. With
Dawn's the main Koba one, right? And that's a masterpiece. I cannot believe how good that movie is.
Yeah.
He becomes the best villain of the entire series, and
I think so,
because you sympathize with the torture he's been through to become who he is. Like Koba's amazing.
That's how I knew that the Batman would be a banger of a film. Because I was like, oh, the guy that did the Apes movie that I really like is now doing my favorite character. Yeah, that works for me.
Yeah.
Not to cross the streams, but I recently backed this on Kickstarter, and I'm curious if you've got it as well.
Oh, the Magnetic Press is doing the Planet of the Apes role-playing game right now.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's really great. So.
Oh, I just saw it. Mike Kennedy's the publisher of that company. I used to know him a lifetime ago, but I'm so excited. It looks like a gorgeous book.
It's beautiful, and it's all classic. Like,
yeah, that's what I like about some of these RPG source books. I buy RPG books for games they'll probably never play. I'm sure everyone does this.
Down there.
Yeah.
You're in the right place.
I could get a group together for Planet of the Apes for sure, but I love when they have like extra information about the world. The world building in Planet of the Apes is fairly light because you're only on the planet for like a movie and some change.
Yeah.
So like it's interesting how like various comics over the years, these great novels and short stories that used to be in the fan magazines and stuff, have really like built it out in a similar to Star Wars, I'd say. But I'm excited to dig through that RPG book. I kind of see what little bits and bobs I may have missed about the canon. It's always funny stuff, right? Like, oh, we don't use forks in this universe or whatever it is. You know what I mean? It's always something weird like that.
Yeah, exactly the same. Like, this is probably a game I could never get a group together to play. Clay, I could. I know. But it'd just be the two of them.
The next time Josh comes in the show, we're just doing a one-shot.
Oh, I'm so
perfect. But I really wanted just exactly the same thing, just to dive into what kind of lore they're kind of like bringing up to the surface, you know? So,
You're responsible to put a campaign together where we're all mutants, okay?
I'm already bald. I got to peel my face off. That's it.
For the bomb.
I have a generic writing question for Josh. Like, what does a typical day look like for you? If you're a freelance writer, so I'm sure you have to kind of be like, well, I have to write for 4 hours, or like, what does that look like? How do you stay focused so that you're not playing video games all day?
Oh gosh, that's the trick, right? And so I have a day job. I work in video games as a writer as well. I'm very lucky to work for Gearbox Studios. They make the Borderlands games and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, all sorts of fun stuff. So anyways, I wake up and do that for my 9 to 5, and I'm very happy to do it. It's a lot of fun. And then on weekends and then nights, or I will find time to squirrel away and do my comics. And so, some people have a discipline where they're like, I'm going to write 10 pages a day, no matter what. I can't do that. When the well is dry, there's just nothing's going to come out. But it's also true that writing is not just typing at the keyboard. It's a lot of imagining and formulating, watching Planet of the Apes for the 10th time, like that sort of thing. But I would say, like, try to find a group that works for you. My best creative writing is usually before lunch, and I don't know why that is. It used to be late nights when I was in college, and now it's early mornings. So I'll typically do that on a weekend, and then after about lunch, I'll go into administrative stuff, which is like emails and invoices or whatever it is. And so that's kind of my vague, like, mechanical process with it. But a lot of it is outlining. I pitched my original miniseries to Marvel in April or March or something of last year. I didn't hear back on it until like September. And they're like, this is good. And I was like, do you want me to make any tweaks? And there's no time for tweaks, baby. We're doing this live.
Is that usually is that how it usually goes, where it's like you kind of sit and wait and then it's just go?
It can be. It definitely can be. With some of these, with the big two stuff, it seems like they're on a little tighter timeline, because they have it's corporate, but also they have shops really depend on these weekly books coming out the week they say they're going to, and it's important to make sure that I'm not the reason we're going to bottleneck somewhere. And so I'm happy to do that. But like typically in comics, you'll have like a nice conversation with an editor, usually inoffensive, and they're like, hey, out of curiosity, do you like the color red? And I'm like, yeah, I guess I like the color red. 9 months later, I'll get an email in my inbox, and it's like, do you want to write Clifford the Big Red Dog comics? And it's like, oh, that's what they were talking about. Like this Apes thing, they were alluding to it like 2 years ago or something, and then it turned into an email in like February or March.
So you just love everything. Like you're just like, yes, I love it all.
Well, I would not have that kind of attention span.
Since we're talking a little bit of Big Two, I do want to mention your other project that's going on right now. Now we may be the wrong audience for it, just because it's all we read our books mainly physically, and
sure.
I don't think these books are at the shop. Hopefully they'll get a printed edition. But Aquaman, hold on to your hook.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about this series? I saw that we can read a bunch of it free right now on the Infinite app.
Yeah, you can read the first several of the first issues for free on the Infinite app. I think you can read the first one on your browser, and then beyond that, you need to register for the app with a free account. Anyways, our story is about Jackson Hyde, the Aquaman from Young Justice, or Aquaman the Becoming, and so he's our Aquaman in this universe, but it's a world that's been reimagined, where everything you know in the DC universe takes place on one planet and one big ocean, which we call the DC. So that's our fun. Nice. So Harley Quinn is a pirate, Superman's a pirate, everyone you could possibly imagine is a pirate. And so our Jackson is accompanied by his boyfriend Hawea, who's in the mainline continuity, and also Dolphin, who's the white-haired beauty and beast, I'll say. She's kind of like my pitch for her, which is building off of what I think it's Abnett Lanning did, was Dolphin looks like the girl that gets kidnapped by the creature of the Black Lagoon, but in reality, she is the creature of the Black Lagoon. So she's kind of got this fish, we call it like werefish mode, basically.
So that whole looks like a cinnamon bun but would kill you type of deal.
Exactly.
Right?
Looks like a cinnamon bun would kill you. So the three of them, they're traversing the DC, going from port to port, island to island, and they're trying to find the mythical King Arthur's hook. And so that's our big device. It's very much if you like ocean-faring stuff like Pirates of the Caribbean. We love, One Piece obviously is a big influence here. Moana, anything you like, pirates and sword and sorcery. This is the book for you. We just wrapped it up today. Our last issue of 26 dropped this morning. So I'm really proud of the book. We have an incredible team, and there's no better time to pick it up than now.
Yeah. That's great.
So I'm
Go ahead.
oh sorry, I was gonna say I'm curious just from like a craft aspect. When you write for digital distribution publication, are you thinking of it at some point down the road as being able to be reformulated for print, or are you just going all in on like the digital possibilities? And I might be asking this for research professional reasons.
Oh,
just
sure.
totally clear.
No, so I have two trains of thought on this. So I did a Hulkling and Wiccan, two miniseries for the Marvel digitally, and the first one got translated into print, and that was not designed necessarily with the scrolling format in mind. It was kind of just panels stacked, and that translates really easily to print with the graphic designer. For Aquaman, we realized early on that we could do a panel of Jackson jumping off the boat into the water, and you could follow him swim all the way to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
And that unlocked something in our entire creative team's brains. So as you read it, you'll see a lot of long panels establishing shots, or people diving further, or falling off a building, or whatever it is. There's always a reason to scroll down. And so I think Aquaman is going to be trickier to adapt for a print medium. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying I don't know how to do it, because we really take advantage of the format. I think in a perfect world, they would print it at a really weird page dimension and let it just or just print a scroll, right?
It's just a
Scroll.
Like
Everything's
accordion
that, Shadowhawk, accordion.
Yeah,
I'm just going to
exactly.
give the audience a quick preview. So this is from issue 1, and like I said, you can go check this out on DC Infinite. And is it weird or different writing for something that's just like a scroll down format like this, where you're just like you really, this is meant to be kind of read on your phone, really,
right?
It's meant for your phone. It's very easy to read on the go. It's part of DC Go, but it's trickier to write like this because there are things we do in print, like turn page reveals or double page spreads, that don't translate like this. So for me, the double page spread are these really long panels. And so that's like when we have a big moment, I want it to be the longest, biggest panel imaginable.
Okay.
But we do other kind of creative things too. We do, it's not too much of a spoiler to say we do some flashbacks to before Jackson's time as Aquaman. And we do those in a style that's more reminiscent of classic Aquaman comics. So those are more grid-based panels. So you're Ramona Freeman, you're Alex Ross, Butch Geis. We pay homage to all of them throughout the series.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, and
That's
I mean,
fantastic.
great. Who is it? Niccolo Lelapi. Like, just the art is so cool. Like,
we have a trio of artists. We have Niccolo, who's our main artist, and really my first mate, and then Andrew Drillin did most of the character designs, because when you're drawing the book, you don't necessarily have time to design the book. So because it's a weekly book. So
you're right. Yeah,
it's a really confusing in the sense that one artist is designing the characters that another artist will draw, while a third artist is working on another thing entirely.
I mean, that's manga has so many assistants, right? You have like an army of assistants when you do a manga, because it is coming out weekly, even if it's only like a few pages per week. Some of the online books, they like to have artists who have very, very similar styles to kind of not break it up. But I was really kind of insisted I want each artist to really run in the direction of what they're great at. So we have Nikki, who's really great with action and has a lot of like manga influences to his art style, which are pretty clear. And then we've got Andrew Drillin, who did most of our designs, and really comes from a fine arts background. Andrew used to do like oil paintings and stuff, and you can tell when you read Andrew's episodes, they're very highly detailed and sweeping and gorgeous. And then we have Bradley Clayton, who did a lot of the designs as well. And Bradley comes from a traditional comic book training background. So it's interesting to see the three styles. And for me, in writing it, I was like, okay, I want to do Psycho Pirate. I want to do something weird and adventurous and wacky, because we're doing pirates. We have to do Psycho Pirate. Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
It makes sense in the world.
And so when we get something like that, I run to Andrew and I'm like, you got to do Psycho Pirate because it's the weird one. And then if we do something like with a whole bunch of characters, we did something more superhero-y, like we do Justice League International, for example. They're the International League of Pirates. And so I think we have like 20 different characters who are just we pushed really hard for this miniseries or this series. And so we have like every JLI character under the sun is reimagined as a pirate in that arc. And
so there's a Blue Beetle then.
There's a 10-cord Blue Beetle.
Oh, nice.
I miss Jaime, but when I come back to Jaime, I want it to be for
we miss Jaime too. He's been gone for too long. Okay, I want to start kind of wrapping up, and before I throw it back to these guys to kind of have some last minute questions, I wanted to check in. Are you still playing Lorcana? Because that was one of the big things. Okay.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you can. I've got this is my little Hall of Fame right here with
all
my enchanted, my super rares or whatever.
Very nice. I think a new set came out recently or is coming up because I go to the shop a lot for other games. Okay, Friday. Yeah. Big Friday. I'm playing Riftbound. That's the League of Legends.
Oh, Riftbound is the hot one right now. That's the game everyone's talking about.
It's very cool. But it also comes out Friday. But so it's the same night as Lorcana at the shop, but the Lorcana crowd has gotten a little bit smaller. I think there's been some issues and rotation happened and people were not very happy about some of the changes. So I wanted to check in with you because I knew you were. I think it was very recent, back when we last talked. The game had just kind of launched maybe for a few months. So I wanted to check in.
Yeah, I'm still playing it. I love it. I'm always trying to get my friends into play or my family or anyone I can get because it's a very straightforward, fun card game, and it has all these familiar characters that make a great entry point. It's like I've noticed that people who play Magic that come into Lorcana, they're interested in the mechanics. They're like, oh, do you have something with the graveyard? Do you have something with a lot of enchantments, or do you have something with a lot of counters? And then people who don't come from Magic are like, I want a Beauty and the Beast deck.
Yeah,
right.
And you know, sometimes you win with the Beauty and the Beast deck versus the meta deck.
But that's the beauty of games like that, right? You can approach them either way or both ways.
Okay. All right. Do you guys have any last questions for Josh? Or Josh, is there anything that we missed that we need to talk about? Any upcoming projects you can talk about at the time? That way we can start wrapping up.
I mean, always check out Aquaman, Yo Ho, hold on to your hook. I always put too many hoes whenever I Yo Ho, hold on to your hook. And then you can read Planet of the Apes for monthly. Was it February? So March, April, and May. And then I'm sure we'll get a trade collection sometime over the summer or the fall. But no, those are the big things I'm working on right now. I'm working on some top secret video game projects I'm sure I'll be able to talk about in a year or so.
They'll take time from the writing process, I'm sure, to when they are.
But I'm curious, what is everyone's favorite ape?
Oh,
I'm a Michael Clark Duncan guy.
Yeah, I mean, he was great.
Great, good answer.
I will say the Tim Burton movie, as much flack as it gets, that was the first one I saw at the theater.
It was the first one I saw too, actually.
It might be the first one. I don't know. Somewhere around there.
I love Tim Roth as the villain. Like he's just so good and menacing. When they find that gun, when he gets a hold of that gun, I'm like, oh, things are about to get real crazy. Like, if you could just replace Mark Wahlberg with somebody that's a little better at acting, I think that movie would be a lot more beloved.
And has a sensible ending.
Yeah.
I don't even mind the ending.
Monkey sex dance. Just cut that out.
I dig all that stuff. Like being a weirdo. Like I really liked all that stuff. I even like the ending. It's a weird ending that came out of nowhere, but I'm like, why not? I mean,
I may have Mandela affected this. I'm not using the term properly, but I have a distinct memory of seeing it in the theater, and we got to the end, and you get that shot of the ape Lincoln statue, and it goes to credits, and it was quiet, and just one person goes, "Huh?" And we're like, "Yeah, we all feel you, buddy. We all feel you." So.
Oh, that's definitely my experience in the theater. I think it's the first time I remember an audience kind of souring on a movie in real time as it was going on.
Yeah.
And then the ending was just like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on anymore. But for me as a kid, I'm like, this seems kind of cool, actually. I can't wait for the next one.
Right.
I'm still waiting. So I don't think Tim Burton's going back to the apes.
Like Tim Burton still had a lot of good cred from the 90s with him, So like, yeah, I was super on board, and I really like the new ones as well. I've only seen the first one of the classic film, so these guys definitely keep now I can read them and I can watch them in order. After this book is done, I'll just go to number 2 and then go in order. So that'll work.
Yeah, watch 1, read the miniseries, watch 2, keep going.
Yes.
Keep going, yeah.
Watch 3 and then tell us how sad the ending is.
Oh man.
3 is such a sneak attack of a movie.
It really is because
Yeah,
it's so lighthearted, especially
Yeah.
like in the middle.
You got Ricardo Montalban, and he's
I
all
love him.
Yeah,
showman.
which is why I think Caesar's my favorite, not of the new series, but of the classic one, because his arc between, I mean, he's not really in 3, but between like 4 and 5, it's like he's got to make some really hard decisions, and I just kind of like it's such a emotional journey to like follow him through that, you know. So
You know about the how the ending was changed in the 4th one, right?
I've either heard about or read about it, yeah, where it was going to be a lot darker.
It's going to be a lot darker, yes.
Yeah.
Which I would be curious what that would have done for the apes in the long run. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
It's interesting because it does kind of feel sometimes like it's like the ending feels a little, not a cheat, but you're like, wait, something's off here. And then you read about it later and you're like, oh, okay.
I did the thing. I watched them all on the Blu-ray box set, and I would watch a movie and then watch all the like documentaries, and then I'd watch a movie and watch all the documentaries. So it was this kind of weird like historical context as I was watching every one. And I'm not saying that's the best way to do it, but that's how I did it. So
Yeah. Did you read any of the early or the 70s Planet of the Apes stuff? The Mike Ploog art during that time period?
I looked through a little bit of it. What I found interesting, there's some, I now I'm blanking on the name of the website. I apologize. There is basically the Planet of the Apes website, and they have a lot of scans of the like old short stories and things that are written for some of these fan magazines and also official magazines as well. And so I was just reading through that. It's so interesting because it's like going back to like really early Star Wars or like that novel that was written before the first movie was even released. Yeah. And you're like, this is Planet of the Apes, but it's like not, you know what I mean? It has this experimentation to it. It doesn't feel like it's locked in to what we know as the franchise.
Yeah, because a lot of that is in their world building are also these half breeds. As apes and man start to breed together, there's this new group that's running around in the comics that's really weird. But Mike Ploog draws them amazing.
They're the screen tests they did, right? Of like human ape hybrids at one point.
Oh, wow.
I think that's for the 4th or the 5th one. That like there's like an ending where they were toying with an ending that was going to like reveal a human ape hybrid.
I seem to remember this.
I don't think I've heard of this.
I think it's at the end of 5, right? And then they took it out. This rings a bell.
I'm so trouble over now. The Hume Ape is what it's called.
I don't like that name already.
Wow, what a name!
I know, it's pretty good. They appeared in screen tests and early scripts for Beneath the Planet of the Apes. I got the wrong movie.
Oh, dang, that's early.
Yeah, so definitely check out your Ape Wiki for that.
Yeah, there isn't any Bertie. Oh my gosh, who am I thinking of?
Bernie Wrightson?
Bertie Wrightson art that he did for Planet of the Apes.
Oh, I've never seen it. If he had, but he'd be perfect.
Well, when you said that man ape thing, for some reason that kind of popped into my head. That did he do Planet of the Apes art? Because that seems like art I've seen of his.
Oh,
I just found something called the Human Z, and I don't like. Here, let me show you guys real quick. A little jump scare.
interesting.
Oh no,
that's not what I'm thinking. But that's really
okay,
scary.
good. Okay, yeah, the internet is a wild place, but this isn't the official wiki for the apes. So
I trust this wiki. I think I have a page on this wiki already somehow. They really keep up. I mean, you would think that like the Planet of the Apes like wouldn't need a very active wiki editor because there's not a lot of stuff coming out all the time. But bless them, wiki editors are the true heroes of society.
Yeah, whoever we use a League of Comic Geeks a lot. And because
for sure.
Once what was it? like all the other, there was the comic book database website kind of went away, and this kind of took its
Mhm.
place. So yeah, God bless everyone that's putting all this stuff together. All right, do we have any last questions? Jeff, did you have anything else for Josh? Clay, I see your hand
Clay.
going up. I thought,
Just because I
I
want to
do-
keep.
I
No,
know,
I just.
I know you have a very fun question, so maybe we'll close out with that, Jeff.
Oh.
And then we'll give so we'll let Clay go.
No, I love ape stuff. I've bought all the Marvel stuff that's come out with the apes. I want them to do more. So it's like you're the only pipeline I have to Marvel to say, I love this because it gives writers like you a chance to play in that sandbox because there haven't been many. And so I really love to be able to see these kinds of stories. And I would I'd love to see a solo series. But my question is, what kind of dream job would it be if Gearbox came in tomorrow and said, we want to do an apes game and you're going to write it?
Oh, I would be so happy. You have no idea. I haven't thought about that before, actually, but I don't. Have there even been? There probably has been a Planet of the Apes game. Video game.
It's not fun. It's not fun.
But I think there's a lot of potential there. Maybe more off the Matt Reeves ones, but I don't know. There's something there.
Yeah. Yeah, they did one, I believe, for the that takes place in the Tim Burton world. No, it's the Matt Reeves. Okay, yeah, because you're just, and it's a lot of more storytelling and not a lot of action, so it's almost a Telltale game.
Oh, yeah, I used to work at Telltale.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Small world.
Which of the games have you worked on?
I worked on Guardians of the Galaxy and Batman. Batman, the second one.
Fun. Okay. I need to go revisit those. Yeah, those are a lot of fun. The one that really messes with you is the Walking Dead ones, because then you're the one that's gonna make all those tough choices.
Get to that ending, and it's a rough ending.
For
Just
sure.
when you get to Duck, you gotta
Duck. Yeah, it's a tough one.
Does Duck live or die? That's up to you.
Yeah, but if you ever get to do play with the Matt Reeves world, my favorite ape is Maurice.
For sure.
I love Maurice, and I love Bad Ape just because Steve Zahn did an amazing job as Bad Ape. So those two would be two characters I'd love to see.
Yeah, that was they need to release more like the stuff they released with the new film, with like how they shot everything, like not practically, but like how all the performers were actually aping around.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. So the behind the scenes, I haven't heard anything about the new films. I know they were doing more. Like I think the last one did well, so hopefully.
Yeah, it's just been delayed.
Yeah,
that's the only thing.
I see Josh is packing up already. So
yeah,
other Josh is done.
He's ready to go. He's like, you told me an hour, buddy. I'm done.
Yeah, these new ape films are interesting because they're dealing more with like faith and someone, like the word of Caesar. Like we see that in the first film, and I'm curious how it's going to be played in the second film, because we don't really have it feels like a main character in the story, that the main character is the idea of Caesar.
Yeah, for sure. I love I really like how they've done that with Caesar, and it's very much like the lawgiver in the original movies.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like they'll just manipulate him however they can for whatever reason. But I feel like maybe we'll see the ape that disappeared into the water. He might be the connecting character through all the films. I think he's going to be carrying the word of Caesar across the planet.
I love that. Yeah. I can't wait for the next. I hope we get more. I know the director of Kingdom is doing Zelda next, right?
Oh, wow.
Which makes perfect sense if you see Kingdom. You're like, yeah, this is a Zelda movie.
It really
Josh,
is.
I know you're not allowed to pitch anything, but have you just happened to take a chance or take a look at any of the other Disney-owned properties that maybe someday somebody might ask you how you feel about Home Alone or one of the Die Hard movies or something like that?
Home Alone, that's a funny one. I don't know what that crossover was. The one has actually been kind of front of mind for a number of years of mine, Zardoz. Do you know Zardoz?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Oh, that'd be amazing.
I don't know what the right situation is right now with that, but I thought Zardoz was so cool when I watched it like in college, and so I've always thought it has such a great visual language that you just give like Daniel Warren Johnson like a stack of money and just have them draw the hell out of Zardoz.
Oh my god, I want to see this so badly.
Those giant statues with guns coming out, drawn
Just
by
vomiting out guns. Yeah.
him.
I would like to know the last time a group of people responded with "Oh yes" when somebody said Zardoz.
Look, I like red vinyl underwear. That's what the deal is. So,
I haven't formally pitched that, but I will probably bring it up now that I think about
nice.
it.
Hey,
Could we get Zardoz Barbarella Apes crossover? That'd be interesting.
Barbarella would be good too.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Get Teeny Howard doing Barbarella for a few issues.
I would be remiss. Sorry, my mic died, but I heard you talking. You used to work at Telltale. My daughter is an even bigger Sam and Max fan than I am, and I know I just saw the news that they are re-releasing Poker Night like in a couple weeks on Steam. They've remastered it.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that. That's because it's like the company's gone through ownerships a couple times, but I'd be curious what the status of some of these projects is.
I can only imagine, especially that one, because it has so many overlapping kind of IP. But yeah, if you could put together a third Poker Night game, what properties would you want in it?
I mean, I think it'd be funny if the Apes were playing poker, right? But
that'd be amazing. I mean, I didn't want to go there, but I'm like, that'd be incredible.
That's the easy answer, but I think that's the one I'm going to run with.
Nice.
It's all apes all the time over here. So
absolutely.
Well, I think this has been great. Thank you very much, Josh, for giving
thank you so much.
I'm always happy to chat.
Great. We will definitely hit you back, especially if we get more apes from you or any other big project like that. Or if you ever want to talk about anything, feel free to email me. But do you want to let the people know? Can they find you anywhere to talk about it, or at least tell you how good this book is?
You can find me on Instagram or Blue Sky. I'm at Lost His Keys Man. I lost my keys, man. And mostly I'm just hanging out right now. I just finished the script for 4, the final issue. Ooh. And I'm just heads down in video game land for the time being. But I know I've got some other stuff cooking, so I'm excited about that.
Cool.
It's excellent.
Looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, this looks great.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.